Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to be looking at solving a quadratic equation using the quadratic formula. So our quadratic equation is anything in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. A quadratic formula, as you see on the right, solve for any variable in a quadratic equation. We'll take opposite of b, meaning if b is not negative b. So if b is a negative value, opposite of b becomes positive, and if b is a positive value, opposite of b becomes negative. Plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. So to make this work, we need our equation to have all terms on one side. That's our main condition. All terms have to be on one side. And it doesn't matter which side it is, it just has to be 1. I'm going to move my 4x and my 1 to the other side, because I prefer to work with equations where my leading coefficient is positive. Is what I'm most used to. Now I can identify my a, b, and c. And I always want to wait till I get all my terms on one side before I identify a, b, and c, so that I can substitute them into my equation. So in this case, a is going to be 2, b is negative 4, and c is negative 1. So putting them into my formula, I'll have x is equal to opposite of b. Now since b is negative, this becomes a positive 4, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so negative 4 squared, minus 4 times 2 times negative 1, all over 2a. So my first step is to substitute properly. Next I will simplify. So I have 4 plus or minus the square root of negative 4 squared becomes 16. Now we'd say minus 4 times 2 times negative 1. That'd be the same thing as saying minus a negative 8. But since there's two minuses, this becomes plus plus. So now I have 4 plus or minus the square root of 24 over 4. Now I want to keep simplifying, starting with my radical. So I can break down 24 into the square root of 4 and the square root of 6. So that'll become 2 square root of 6. So to finish my problem, I had 4 plus or minus square root of 24 over 4, and that became 4 plus or minus 2 square root of 6 over 4. Again, based off of my radical breakdown. Lastly, I need to determine, can I simplify any of my coefficients or other numbers. We want to look at, in particular, these three numbers. 4, 4, and then the 2. Or in general, our denominator, what's on the left of the plus minus sign, and then the coefficient of the radical. Notice I'm leaving 6 out of this. 6 is inside a radical, so it can't be considered. So looking at these three numbers, do they have a common term that I can divide them by? And they do. It's going to be 2. So when I divide each of these by 2, I'll get 2 plus or minus 1 square root of 6, or I'll just say square root of 6 over 2. I can no longer divide anything. If you're wondering, well, why can't I divide the two 2's? It's because just like in the previous step, I have to consider what's in front of the radical as well. And in this case, it's a 1. And there's no common term among 1, 2, and 2 besides 1. So this is as far as I go. And this is my answer. So I want to get all my terms on one side, apply the quadratic formula, and simplify as much as I can. Now, as opposed to some equations or some problems, because I have a radical, it doesn't do me any good to separate this into two separate answers. 2 plus square root of 6 over 2, 2 minus square root of 6 over 2. Although it's not an incorrect answer, because of the radical, it doesn't make it any easier. The only time I would do that is if, instead of the square root of 6, I had another whole number.